new warning this morning about the possible dangers of heartburn drugs. Researchers found that taking the medications for prolonged periods may lead to serious kidney damage, and people may have no warning signs of kidney problems. The study looked at patients with a prescription for proton pump inhibitors. Some of the most popular PPIs, which are also available over the counter, are sold under the brand names Prevacid, Nexium, and Prilosec. None of the makers of the drugs responded to requests for comment. An estimated 15 million Americans use these medications regularly. Our Dr. David Agus is in Los Angeles. David, good morning.
Good morning, Anthony.
What are the risks exactly that the study found with these drugs?
So what the study showed is that continued use of these drugs, it was studied over 5 years in the Veterans Administration, so a big data study, found that if you took these for long periods of time, that the rate of chronic kidney disease went up. And so chronic kidney disease is not one that has symptoms or signs until it's too late. And so obviously worrisome. These were the prescription brand, but they're also available over the counter. And over the counter, classically, people aren't even checked for kidney problems.
Heartburn is a real thing. 10 to 20% of Americans suffer from it. So what's the advice?
Well, 7.8% of Americans in the last 30 days took this class of drugs. And so we all take it. But what we know is that much of the heartburn is avoidable by following what you eat. So avoid the fatty foods, avoid eating too much. Alcohol, tobacco, they can all make that valve weaker to allow acid to come into the esophagus. So try avoidance as much as possible, and then talk to your doctor. Maybe taking something else for this may be helpful, or look at other ways of avoiding the reflux.
So the cause of it is the diet that you eat? It's that simple?
It's not that simple. I mean, there certainly are diet as a part of it. There's a valve at the end of your stomach, and when acid comes back up the other direction, it can go into your esophagus and cause problems, and you feel it. That's what heartburn is.
So are there other ways? Go ahead, David. Sorry, go ahead.
No, so if we can make that valve work better, and the problem is alcohol, tobacco, they make that valve work less, and acid can come up.
Are there other ways to treat it other than medication?
Well, there are surgery and some more aggressive routes, but avoidance is the best. And there is the class of drug that can block secretion called an H2 blocker. Those are the Zantac and the Pepsid. And this chronic kidney disease wasn't associated with those drugs.
David, did the study prove that these drugs can cause kidney disease?
Well, this was a big data study, so it was an association. And so previously associations have been found with these drugs and more dementia, more heart disease, and more bone fractures. And so this class of drugs obviously has risks, and it's a discussion with your doctor. There's risks and there's benefits. And in some patients, you still have to take these drugs, but the discussion should happen.
I remember when I was pregnant having lots of heartburn, but I took Tums. Tums work, right, David?
Yeah, but the problem is Tums, they bind acid, and then your body says, I'm not making enough acid, so it makes more, and so it can make the cycle worse.
Oh, no. Wish I'd known that before. Thanks, Dr. David Agus.